ready to tag in and experience the world of professional wrestling like never before. Welcome to the Hot Tag Podcast with Billy and Sal. Ladies and gentlemen.
Number two,
welcome to the second episode of the Hot Tag Podcast with Billy and Sal. I'm Billy.
I'm Sal.
He's Sal, not me. He's
not
Sal.
me, yeah. That's Billy.
I can't
Oh,
believe
wait, no, that way.
It's so confusing. I can't believe we're back. Like, we're back. They let us back in the building.
The World Wide Web has let us infiltrate them once again. Penetrate.
I'm literally just counting down the times that we get until we get canceled.
Well, that would be your fault, probably not mine. I'm a sweet angel.
Yeah, I'm a little rough around the edges. So, Sal,
Billy,
as you know, we had a very busy week of wrestling news and things on TV, and I think probably the biggest news so far is Cash Wheeler from FTR.
Yeah.
Cash Wheeler from FTR. He was arrested. You actually brought this news story to my attention. Arrested for brandishing a firearm at, I guess, in like a road rage incident.
That's the story.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there, right? Who hasn't wanted to just go nuts on the road? We live in New York City. It's I mean, he was in Florida. Apparently, Florida is just got some really not the smartest people in the world. I don't know, but
well, Florida, I think you could like conceal carry pretty easily over there, especially now. I think they just did something where it's actually easier for you to conceal carry. Like, you don't need I don't know. I really don't know the law over there, but I remember reading something in the news that I know WWE put out a statement like, hey, even though the concealed carry thing is a little more broad now, you guys are still not allowed to bring firearms to any of our sporting events that we hold in Florida. So, yeah, I actually have a clip. I actually have a clip that I want to play for everybody of Cash Wheeler's arraignment. So let's get into this clip right now, and then when we come back from the clip, we'll discuss the future of the FTR, I guess.
Thank you so much for your
Let's
help.
do it.
Standing to my right is Mr. Wheeler, Daniel Wheeler. He turned himself in late last night on a warrant by the Orlando Police Department. The charge was aggravated assault with a firearm. It's a third-degree felony. We are requesting that the court set bond in the amount of $2,500 with no contact with the alleged victims in the affidavit, no possession of weapons. My client is 36 years old. He's a U.S. citizen, has no prior record. I haven't seen the affidavit, but my understanding is he does not know who these people are.
Mr. Wheeler appears to have no other criminal history. It does appear to be a road rage type incident. Allegedly flashed a handgun at the alleged victim. Given that he has no prior history.
Sir, you're going to be ordered to have no contact with the victim or any other witnesses involved in the case. You're also going to be ordered to have no weapons. That means that any weapons that you own that aren't in the custody of law enforcement at this point are going to have to be turned in to the sheriff's department pending the outcome in this case. And that's to be done within 12 hours of your release. All right?
Sir.
Okay, so, I mean, when you sent me this news story, I kind of took a double take at my phone because All In Wembley is going to be probably the biggest show in wrestling history, right, up to date, right? They sold the most tickets, except for, I guess, when Andre got slammed by Hogan, right? I think there was like 90-something thousand fans there.
Well, that was the announced attendance, but if you go according to certain things, I think the actual paid attendance was just under 80.
Okay, so it's safe to say that this show is gonna go down in wrestling history. I get it. the temper gets the best of everybody sometimes. I'm not going to rush to judgment. I'm not one of those people, right? So there are some
Right.
people that will rush to judgment and say you're guilty until proven innocent. I'm not one of those people. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. If it was a road rage incident, we don't know what the alleged victim was doing. We don't know if the alleged victim was threatening him. We don't know any of that yet until the case takes course. So, yeah, it looks bad, but I don't think it's actually gonna play out to be that bad. I don't know. I don't know the facts of the case yet. But from what I'm hearing so far, it looks like he was just in a road rage incident. We don't know what the other person did or the other people did. It sounds like there was more than one person involved. So yeah, we just gotta, I guess, wait and see it till it plays out. But it's definitely doesn't look good heading into All In.
Yeah, no, that is it's an unfortunate thing. Like you said, I think we've all been there where we've been really frustrated, for the lack of a better word,
Yeah,
out on the road. I'm sure, I've said some, I've cursed. I'm sure you've cursed. I've never actually physically
yeah.
gotten out of my car
No, me
to
neither.
try to,
Yeah,
but it's definitely unfortunate considering the spot too. I mean, like the program that they're in. Like, not only are they the tag team champions, but they're
yeah,
about to go into the third match of a trilogy with a team, arguably the greatest team of all time, depending on how you look at it.
yeah.
And 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 I don't know. I feel for the guy because again, he got, but at the same time, we got to be smarter than that. We got to be a little more aware, because now you got to think about it like this, right? Okay, me and you, we've tagged in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
even like this, it's a joint venture. If one of us does something really stupid, it hurts
Yeah,
both of us. We're a team. So unfortunately, he did something now that his partner now has to pay potential consequences for, because now, from what I've gathered, and again, I think this is still kind of like a new thing, like a new early on in the process, but I
yeah.
I think he can still. I don't think they took his passport, um, so I think
No,
he
I don't think so either. I
technically,
don't. Yeah,
yeah, I think technically he could still go over there if they'll let him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how the law works over there or anything like that. Um, but this was a big match. This was probably the match I was looking forward to the most on the card.
yeah.
And I'm, from a selfish standpoint, I hope that it still happens from the wrestling fan in me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's going to be, bro, 80,000 people in a very featured spot with your best friend against again, the arguably the best tag team ever, definitely of this generation. I would say. I don't think that's like
Yeah,
a stretch
yeah.
for him. I don't know anything about him. I've never met him. But by all accounts, he seems like an okay guy. That probably the temper, but you can't just brandish a gun and start waving it at people.
No,
If you're gonna wave a
not even a
gun, you
little
got to
bit.
be ready to use it.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Jey Uso. Jey Uso was in a really big spot too, right before his last DUI. And it seems like they handled it well by taking him off TV. I don't even know what came out of that charge for him. I know
Well, they
a
never really took
second.
him off TV. They never really took him off
Yeah.
TV. It was almost like they continued as if nothing happened.
Well, I don't know too many people that have had DUIs, but from just looking a little bit into the law, I'm pretty sure. I don't think you have to do jail time after the second one. I think they just, like, if you have a driver's license, they'll revoke it for like a year, and you have to pay a $5,000 or $10,000 fine. But it's hard to say keep yourself out of trouble, especially if you have something so big like All In. But again, we don't know the facts of the case, so I don't want to rush to judgment. But I wish
Right.
him the best of luck, and if the victim's involved, everybody
That's
involved,
what we
I wish
really
them the
got.
best
Because
of luck.
again, on the surface,
Hmm.
right? We don't know the facts of it. But if it was just a road dispute, there's no
Hmm.
excuse to be waving a gun at anybody.
Yeah, and
Now,
that's the thing
if they
too that
get
they're
out
gonna
and
have
you
to
feel like
prove.
your life is in danger,
Hmm.
then you got to do what you got to do to defend yourself. However, if these
Of
people are
course.
pressing charges, maybe I'm going to go out on a limb and assume maybe that I don't know that maybe I don't know. You don't, we like you said, we don't know. I wasn't there.
Do they also know he has some notoriety too, and that's why they're pressing charges? Do they feel like maybe they have a lawsuit on their hands? It could be that too.
It's unfortunate. I hope everything gets resolved. I hope the people involved are not traumatized.
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought too, I mean, I was like, damn, I hope there was no kids in the other car. You know what I mean? Like that would be terrifying as a child.
I think that would also probably be a bigger charge, if like child
Oh,
endangerment.
yeah, it would probably be. I think if there was, we would have heard.
I didn't hear in the arraignment, so I'm assuming that there's none there. But
listen, at the end of the day, I hope everything works out. I would like to see this match. But now here's the thing: if the match does go on, which as of right now it is, what do you do? Do you take the belts off them?
I'm gonna assume and say yes. I'm gonna assume that you have to take the belts off them. So it kind of goes into, okay, we have the Young Bucks who can definitely hold the titles, no problem. But are less people going to be interested in the match now because they know that pretty much the Bucks are going to go over? And
I don't think it's that much of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and I think people are just going to tune in to see the banger that they're going to put on.
But you know what? Yeah, 100%. But you know what sucks now, right? Let's say the plan all along was for the Bucks to win it, right? Let's say they went into this 3 weeks ago with the Bucks. All right, you guys, this is what's happening. Now it's going to look like, oh, you just took the belts off them because of that. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate. That's been a good. I mean, the run has been what it is, but I'm a huge FTR guy. I think was it last year? Was it last? I don't know what. I think it was last year. They just had a huge year, and they've carried it over into this year. And they put on constantly great matches. They're tremendous characters. They are a throwback. I think Cash might be taking the gimmick a little too serious. And that's supposed to be just,
Yeah. Didn't he punch that guy in the face when he attacked Bret Hart too?
Oh, that guy deserved it, though.
Yeah, he deserved it, but Cash Wheeler, listen, moral of the story, Cash Wheeler is nobody to mess with. Okay, we know this.
Listen, you don't put your hands on royalty and expect, nothing to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I wish everybody the best of luck. But moving on.
Yeah.
Guess who's in the news this week again?
Is it our buddy Phil Punk?
It is our buddy Phil Punk. CM Punk in the news again this week for another backstage incident. Actually, there's more than one backstage incident this week with him. This time with Ryan Nemeth, who was reportedly sent home from the August 12th episode of AEW Collision weeks after he had words with CM Punk. The issue reportedly stemmed from Nemeth's tweet that responded to Punk's return promo. In the tweet, Nemeth wrote, "Literally the softest man alive." Punk then reportedly asked Ryan to make good on his tweet. Tensions died down eventually. Both of them spoke. They shook hands after Nemeth apologized. But according to Fightful Select, CM Punk did not want Nemeth on AEW Collision whatsoever. And it's unclear whether that stance stemmed from Nemeth's actual tweet or his relationship to the Elite. So I don't know if CM Punk is a problem backstage. I've never been backstage with this guy. Probably never will be backstage with this guy. I'm just a little old podcaster. But there has been a ton of reports out there that say this guy likes to ruffle feathers. Now, is he trying to... This is the question I have for you, Sal. Do you think this is him trying to be like locker room leader or maybe locker room general? Or do you think this guy just likes to get in people's faces when they talk shit about him?
I think it's both. I got a question for you, though. Like, why is it such a problem for if you have an issue with somebody to address it to them? Why is everybody making a big deal about this?
I don't think it's an issue. I'll tell you why I don't think it's an issue. I don't think it's an issue in this instance. They're both men, and if you're gonna talk shit, you might as well say it to the face, right? That's like the whole thing.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if I get on social media and like it's clear that I'm putting something out like a subliminal tweet, but it's coming off the heels of you saying something that people deem controversial, and they know that we're in the same working space.
Yeah.
Are you not going to feel a certain type of way?
Well, I think the
Next
issue.
time you see me, are you not going to be like, "Hey, bro, what was that about?"
Yeah, so I think the original report that I read was that he was a bit of aggressive with him. I wasn't there, so I believe half of what I read on the internet. But
Aggressive
for
because
me,
he was annoyed with him for saying it. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. So my thing is, now this could be CM Punk just not giving a fuck about AEW, or maybe he knows he can't get fired. But I think the issue that I took with it was you're at the workplace. Like, I guess there's a time and a place. Like, listen, if you guys go out at the end of the night, I know CM Punk doesn't drink, but if he's at the hotel and he bumps into him in the lobby and he says, hey, what was that tweet about? You want to go outside and, talk about it? Fine. But this is, I think Punk had like 2 backstage incidences same night. So I think that's what it was for me. It was more like, it's the workplace. I don't think it was maybe it wasn't the right time. And also, the whole Punk not wanting him on Collision at all. If that's true, it's a little, not a huge fan of it.
I feel I see it from both sides. I agree with you in the sense of like it's the workplace. Granted, wrestling is not the traditional workplace, and it's an industry with a lot of machismo or wannabe machismo going around, but at the same time, I look at it like, okay, where else am I gonna see you?
Yeah,
and I have this
that's
issue
true
with you.
Yeah.
Also, I agree keeping him off Collision is, I don't agree with that. I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're all under the AEW banner, and if it's going to be like this, you might as well make 2 different shows, like brands, and like keep people exclusive. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because you also remember now, also I read that Christopher Daniels was not allowed back there, and mind you, he's managing it. So now you're creating an environment where, like, all right, we're here, and this guy who's a part of AEW management is not allowed to be in the building. That is weird to me.
Yeah.
However, I can understand Punk's perspective in that, all that drama that he very much had a big, huge part in, trying to put it behind him, right?
Yeah.
Trying to keep that environment there sacred, that space sacred, in the sense of we're all on the same team here. Let's be on the same page, and let's not have anybody here that's gonna, because he can't really go to Dynamite unless you know what I mean. So it's like that's his spot. It is what it is. I can understand him wanting to be like, I don't want any of that negativity over here. If you got a problem with me, cool, let's address it.
Yeah.
And we'll move forward. And if it's still a problem, you don't have to come here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and this is where it's so complex, at the same time, is that his decision to make? Yeah. He doesn't own the company. He's not signing the checks. Tony Khan is. And then if you believe some reports, like Tony Khan marking the hell out for CM Punk as he was walking back into the first time he showed up, like chanting CM Punk standing up in Gorilla.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Strikes me as strange.
Yeah.
You're but at the same time, he's a fan that just happens to have a lot of money and run a company. Yeah. So it seems like such a weird thing. I don't understand any of it that's going on. It's just like, what are we? It's like this is a $1 billion. I don't know if they're $1 billion company yet, but it's $1 million.
Oh, the cons definitely have money. The cons definitely have money.
It's $1 million operation that it seems like it's being run like some of these rinky-dink shows that we've been a part of.
Yeah, and it seems like high school to me. Like, it seems like a lot of he said, she said, you're talking crap about me, let's, go meet me 3 o'clock at the schoolyard. I get it. Listen, everybody's...
It's like, and like Punk and Bucks and Mego, they're all in detention. Like, you know what I mean? It's like...
Listen, I'll put the infographic up right now. There are reports that the Elite still are refusing to have a sit down with him. They want to keep away from him. And it was also reported that there's still significant backstage issues between both sides. Although the Elite did mention Punk apologizing to Hangman Page for his post-show comments from last week. But apparently these four individuals still have a lot of tension too. They don't want anything to do with Punk. Unless... yeah.
I hate to keep cutting you off, but and I get it. Maybe they don't. But at the same time, you work for the same company. At least once every 3 months, at least, you're going to have to be around each other.
Yeah.
Or at least in the same building. Mm-hmm. Do you not want to just go up to each other? What the fuck is that? Do you not want to just go up to each other and just have this conversation of, hey, we have issues, cool, but let's be civil. Let's put it behind us. Doesn't mean we have to be friends. Doesn't mean we even have to work with each other, even though that would be great for business.
Yeah.
But let's stop this nonsense, this tension. Because you know what, honestly, dude, at the end of the day, this company that all of them love, no doubt, just looks like you said, high school.
Yeah.
Because everything that comes out of this, all the reports, is always about this group of people.
Yeah, it's
and how much of a problem they have with each other.
That's why I started it off with saying CM Punk was back in the news again.
Baker. Right? Yeah. So I don't know. I think these guys need to just have a sit down. Whatever happens. You don't have to be friends. You don't have to even work together, or whatever. But you got to have a sit down and clear the air and just put that behind you. I get it. I don't know how.
It'll just make it better for everybody involved.
3-on-1 or something like that. I don't know, but
CM Punk.
I don't know.
CM Punk beat them. I know. He listen. We all know Phil Brooks is not the best fighter in the world according to his MMA record book.
Bro, that's in MMA though. That's the best fighters in the world.
Well, apparently the guy that CM Punk was fighting was pretty damn good too. So I'm not gonna fault him. Listen, I'm not gonna go up to CM. I mean, listen.
If you made it to the UFC and Ultimate in MMA, you got to be at least half decent at fighting.
Yeah, I guess.
Not him, though. Again, not him in the sense of he was actually brought in to be a draw. But the people he fought might not be the greatest fighters in the UFC, but they'd wash 99.9% of the population. So you can't really compare that.
Yeah. I think it's stupid. It's childish, and they need to just get over it. They need to figure it out. It happened. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it now. Just move on. Work together. If you don't listen, you guys don't have to go out. They don't have to sit in catering together. Just be professional. I think when it comes down to AEW, it seems to me and a lot of other people that there is something going on in AEW. Now, this just could be because Tony Khan's young. And he has a lot of money and he's a fan. And that's okay. We're all wrestling fans, right? So I hate when people say, oh, you're a mark or you're this, you're that. Listen, we are all wrestling fans. That's why we do this. Because we grew up loving it.
Can you play that drop real quick?
I am going to play the soundbite drop of MJF.
You fucking mark!
Exactly.
I love it.
Listen, we're all marks in our own right. Now, does that mean that you have to keep a level of professionalism? Of course you do. If I am backstage in AEW, I'm not going to chant CM Punk when he walks by me because there has to be a level of professionalism. Now, Tony Khan doesn't probably care because he owns the whole damn company. But it seems to me like everybody that talks crap about AEW, they always kind of come to the same thing, and there's like a lack of professionalism backstage. And I really hope they figure it out soon because I don't know if they can continue like this. I don't know if, 5-6 years from now, are we still going to be talking about how CM Punk's, being a whiny baby backstage because somebody, spilled his Gatorade?
He does seem like the type of person that'd be really upset about something like that.
Yeah, I don't even know if he drinks Gatorade. I'm assuming he drinks Gatorade. Knowing him, he probably drinks lake water.
What?
I don't know. I try to think of something healthy and natural. So he had another problem with somebody else backstage,
Of course he did.
and I promise
Oh, I
you,
heard
this is the
about this. I
last
actually
thing.
really agree with him on this too. By the way,
I do
I
too.
mean, I
I
don't
do
know if it's an
too.
argument, but I continue.
I do too. Listen, he apparently he had an argument with him at the start of Collision over an issue that many took with. So there was quite a few people that had an issue here of a planned
Right.
spot of Perry's where Perry wanted to use real glass in a backstage segment. Now, okay. I get it. I understand it. I don't know why you need to use glass in a backstage segment. Real glass.
I don't know.
Now, I guess Punk's reasoning for it, I don't know if this is true or not, but what I read that was floating around was that he wanted, Jack Perry wanted like a week off to go do something, so he was gonna like take a glass spot to get off of work. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, that's what I read on the interwebs. But I don't listen. You don't need. I don't think you need glass.
No.
I don't know if you need glass. But yeah, would you like to elaborate on this?
I think it's if the reports are true, and what we're reading is the way it went down, which of course it probably isn't. But going based on what we've heard, I agree with CM Punk like 1,000%. If you want to use glass in a backstage spot, I mean, whatever. Like, it's who am I to say? That's not my call. But why not use sugar glass? It's easy. It's you know what I mean. First of all, you're backstage. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to work with that, and nobody gets severely hurt. The fact that you want to use real glass. Play that drop again. Actually, play that drop again.
You fucking mark!
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, yeah. I'm baffled. Like, why would you want to use real glass if you don't have to?
I don't know.
I
mean, listen.
I just don't get it. And like, because again, but I don't know if I believe like the whole wanting the next week off thing, only because Tony Khan seems like the type of guy that if you say, "Hey, I have something to do," can I get a week? Can I get this next week off? He'll probably give it to you. So I don't think you need to go through a pane of glass to take off. So I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
It just seems like use sugar glass. It's cheap. It's effective. We've done it.
And you have $1 million boss. Unless Tony was like, listen, that's a stupid idea. If you want to do it, sure, but you gotta find glass on Facebook Marketplace and use it. I don't think that's what happened, but I don't know. I don't understand. I just, for me, CM Punk was in the news a lot this week for backstage issues, and this is coming from a guy who the biggest story of his AEW career was a backstage issue. So I feel like, I don't know. I mean, Booker T, I think, said he thinks him and the Elite issue is a work, or him and the Adam Page issue is a work. Could be duping all of us.
Could be. That'd be great.
It would be great, but maybe they're trying to turn Punk like a monster heel, and they're trying to get like real heat on him by making him look like a bitch backstage.
I 100% think that's where they're going with this. I mean, I don't know if it's but I think that they're going with him as a big heel. I think, listen, I'm a huge Punk fan, been huge Punk fan since the moment I've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought he's 1,000 times better as a heel. And he's a really good babyface. Yeah. But I think his heel work is just through the roof. And I've been waiting for him to turn heel since the minute he got there. Yeah. So I'm hoping that's where this is going. At the very least, be like a little more edgy, like he kind of has been, like, taking shots at the big baby faces is always great. I hope he does turn heel. But going back to this, I think I'm with him on this, and this, if it's as accurate, use sugar glass. It saves everybody a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Yeah. And
Shout out to Joe Attell, who would have not bitched out and would have used the glass anyway, no matter what CM Punk said to him. we got to get Joe Attell on this show one time, just for him to just tell us his life stories of destruction.
Will he be able to hear us?
Maybe that's a joke for a different time. We'll explain that one to you guys eventually. But let's talk. You mentioned Tony Khan. We've been talking about him a little bit here. Let's talk ticket sales. So AEW All In surpasses ticket distribution records set by WWE WrestleMania 32 with 80,709 tickets accounted for at the turnstiles. As of yesterday, I don't know what the numbers are today, but they did it. They beat WrestleMania 32's record with 80,000 plus tickets at Wembley. Now, is this... Let me ask you a serious question.
Go ahead.
Is this because it's AEW and the matches that they're about to put on? Or is it more of like a movement like, hey, everybody's doubting AEW and the fans are kind of rallying behind them? What's your opinion on that?
I definitely think it's more of the second. I definitely think it's more of the fans rallying because they sold 95% of the tickets before a match was announced. So I definitely think that it's more of like the big time feel of it. And I think though, what I think is now it's on they got the people there, right? Which, that's fucking tremendous. Now it's on them to put on a great show, which I think they will. I think, I think, the one thing AEW does really well is they put on really good big shows. They make certain things feel really important. Like, am I like, do I look at the card and am I like, oh my God, this is gonna be the greatest show of all time? Probably not, but I don't know yet. We'll see when we get there. Looking at it on paper, it looks like it's gonna be a very solid show with a couple of really big time matches. But I think it's going to be more of the spectacle of it all, right? Like it's going to be 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium, and it's going to be the biggest show they've ever done. And it's for a company that, people used to call a T-shirt company when they first came out. So, and mind you, bro, they've only been around, 5 years? What is it? 2019 was their first, real show. So, not even 5 years. So, I think good on them. And I hope the show, I have no doubt, will be a really good show. They never cease to fail when it comes to the big stuff. I'm just hoping that the tag match happens because that's a big thing. I think that match is going to be the show stealer, and they have a pretty good main event. That the match is going to be off the hook, and I have a feeling we're going to see something at the end that's going to. Because you got to remember too, this show is going to have some cliffhangers in a sense because they have their big pay-per-view the next week too. So it's like
yeah. I'm very interested to see. I'm actually very excited, and I can say this with all honesty. I'm actually really excited for this pay-per-view, and I don't know how many times I could have said that about AEW pay-per-view before. And listen, it's a really big week for wrestling in general as a whole. Because the same day that news broke that they beat WrestleMania 32's gate, WWE releases this statement that says WrestleMania 40 broke WWE's all-time gate record in Philly with over 90,000 tickets sold for WrestleMania 40 across 2 days. So WWE selling 90,000 tickets. AEW selling 80,000 plus tickets. The wrestling business is booming, baby.
It is a very when was the last time you could say that? Like people were this excited about what's going on in wrestling? It's been a long time.
It's been probably the better half of a decade, I would say. Maybe a little more.
I would say the better half of 2 decades.
Yeah.
And people are really excited about wrestling. Now, mind you, wrestling is probably not as big as it was when we were kids.
Yeah.
But at least within the bubble, it's like I don't remember the last time there was this much excitement about professional wrestling, and it's like even WWE, right? Like for the longest time, it's been like a running joke almost, like how bad they have been at times, and how unwatchable like Monday Night Raw was for a long time. And I think they've gotten to a point where, like, I'm interested in what's going on regularly. Even without the Bloodline, which was the hottest storyline in a long, probably 20 years.
Yeah.
But even without that, anchoring the show, I think they've put on compelling television. And I'm interested. It's just a very good time to be a wrestling fan. They're making I'm just enjoying what I'm watching regularly, which is the first time I could say that in a long time.
Yeah.
So as a fan, I'm very happy, very excited for what's to come, and I just hope that both companies can keep this momentum that they got, and just keep moving forward, keep putting on good TV, and there's a lot, because you got to think about it, dude. Like especially now that we're doing this, we kind of have to watch, right?
Yeah. Now we got to pay close attention to what's going on.
Right. So, there's a lot of content on TV. It's hard. I got kids, you got kids. There's a lot. So, in order for me to give up some of that time to watch wrestling, I want it to be, entertaining. And I could say that I have been entertained lately. So
yeah, and to be honest with you, I've always been pretty big into the dirt sheets and wrestling news as a whole. And I could tell you, AEW has been in the news a lot over the last 2 weeks. I think a little more than they have been ever before. And it's just, whether it's good news or bad news, it's people are still talking about them. And that's something that you can't deny. People are talking about AEW. Look at our show. Our show has been pretty much so far all AEW stuff. And the next thing we're going to get into, which is, what happened on TV over the last week, we're going to jump back into AEW multiple times there, because there's just so many different things that are happening inside of AEW right now and outside. There's a lot of news coming out of that side of the wrestling world. So it's exciting stuff, man. It really is.
Great time to be a fan. Great time to be a fan.
It is. It is a great time. I think we started this podcast. Perfect timing. We're the best.
Impeccable timing.
So let's get into the big news that happened on wrestling TV this week. Edge's last match on SmackDown. Now, I say it's his last match on SmackDown. I don't know if they actually billed it as his last match in WWE. I know they were saying it's his last match in Toronto, his last match on SmackDown. Regardless, I think it's his last match under WWE contract.
Right. That's what I think. That's what they've been saying. I don't know if that's fixed on television, but I know that's what you've been hearing.
The match was great. The match was what it was. It was exactly what it needed to be. There was
and I'm
emotion.
happy there was no shenanigans after, like a Sheamus fucking brogue kick after the. I'm happy there was no shenanigans.
They hugged each other. The pyro went off.
Yeah,
it was beautiful. But, and there's a big but in here.
I know where you're going.
Do we get an Edge and Christian reunion in AEW?
Part of me is very interested to see what Edge would look like in an AEW setting, right? Yeah. Just because all the different matches that could happen. He's obviously a little way. He's got to be close to 50. So, time is running out, especially with him with the neck. So I'm sure he wants to get a match in with Kenny Omega a Punk maybe again.
Yeah.
You know, a Hangman Page, MJF, Christian, the Bucks. The possibilities are endless. But here's one big caveat that I think maybe some people don't take into consideration. If he goes there, he can't be Edge.
No. It's gonna be Adam
What is he?
Copeland.
Yeah, he's gonna be Adam Copeland or like Adam Cage to be Christian Cage's partner. There's like, you know, I don't. Oh, he can't be Edge unless there's like some deal under the table where they're like, hey, take the name, you're going over there. Who cares? I doubt that.
No.
So he can't be Edge. He'd be Adam Copeland, and the name Adam Copeland versus Edge just, I don't know. The rated
Not
R
the same.
superstar, Adam Copeland.
Yeah. Listen.
So
he could
I don't know.
he's a smart guy. I think he can come up with something cool. It's definitely not going to have the same feel. I would actually kind of like to see him versus Kenny Omega and all those guys.
It'd be great.
And
It'd be
this is the
amazing.
beauty of
I'd love
this is the beauty of AEW being a top contender to the WWE, because these things are real possibilities. You know, who's to say that Kenny Omega can't, you know, go to WWE in a couple years? Who's to say that the Young Bucks can't go there? You know, I get it. There's friendships, but look at Cody. Cody, you know, they viewed Cody as a lifer in AEW, and he jumped ship quick. And nobody thought that was going to happen. So,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's very exciting. It's all. I'm just too excited, Sal. I'm too excited for this.
I got a perfect name for him.
Okay.
So right now he's Edge, right? He's Edge.
Yes.
What if his name is Cliff Cage?
Cliff Cage. Like, as in the edge of a cliff.
Correct. And then Cage, because his brother Christian Cage. So he'll be Cliff Cage.
All right. I got to talk to the Hot Tag podcast fan base. Can you guys do me a favor? Can you let us know down in the comments what you think Edge's new name would be if he went to AEW? I'm very interested to see what our wonderful fans would come up with. But Cliff Cage.
Cliff Cage. Cliff Cage. Double C. Christian Cage, Cliff Cage. It's tremendous. Money.
That is money. I like it. And didn't Edge say he wanted Christian as his last opponent or something like that?
I don't know. I would not be surprised, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Best friends.
Yeah.
Or, like, why wouldn't he, you know, if he could pull that off, why wouldn't he want that to happen, you know?
Yeah. Well.
That would be sick, though, if he could show up in Wembley. It's not possible because I'm pretty sure he's under contract through into September. But if he could just show up at Wembley, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Maybe AEW will work something out where he can get out of his contract a little early.
But then it would get out, and that would kind of ruin everything.
Yeah. But
anyway,
what if he's there in the fans? What if he's there in the audience? What if he bought a ticket?
I can see that. Cliff Cage sitting front row.
Anything can happen in the world of wrestling. Something that made me really angry happened this week. Not really angry, but I think they're hinting at it, and it's going to make me upset because I love these guys together, is Imperium splitting up. They've been hinting at it for a little bit. They've been giving Ludwig, is that his name? Did I just butcher that? Ludwig Kaiser. They've been giving him a lot of talking time. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous that they're going to break up. I think these guys are money together. They are so good together, and I think that if you separate them, unless you're trying to make Gunther a really big main event guy, I think his, other two cronies they're going to end up on the mid card. That's just my feeling. Yeah. Yeah, they were good together. They were good together. We can't even remember his name right now. I again, I hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't think they should break up either. And then, so John Cena posted the picture of Gunther that is to the left of this his photo right now on Instagram. Are we? Is he dropping seeds? Is there a little maybe Gunther versus John Cena at WrestleMania? Is John Cena calling him out, or is he commending him for his, you know, uh, run that he's had with the Intercontinental Championship?
You know, I mean, I'd be interested in a John Cena Gunther match as long as it doesn't have to, Gunther has to win. I'd be interested in that. I think that'd be a fun little program for him. And but at the same time, it's like, does John Cena still have? Because every time he comes back now, he kind of loses, and it doesn't take away from the star power of him. He's still a mega star, and he's still going to be one of the most over guys on the show. But does beating him now have the same effect that it would have had, 4 years ago? Probably not.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, Austin Theory got like nothing from it. I couldn't even tell you,
Literally.
I forget that they had a match at WrestleMania sometimes. So I think Gunther is obviously a much better candidate than Austin Theory, and I think Gunther he's going to be a main event guy. So
Yeah.
put him in there.
The possibilities are endless with Gunther. I would love to see him versus Roman Reigns. I would love to see him
Right.
versus Seth Rollins. I would love to see all those matches.
He's on
And
his way there. He's on his way
I
there.
would absolutely love to see Gunther light John Cena's chest up. Everybody would. I think that's like the thing. It's like, John Cena takes really good beatings. That match against Brock, he probably took the best beating in his career.
Yeah.
And that was the story of the match. And bravo to both of them for putting that together. Because I know John talks about that, and he spoke about that in an interview, that's exactly what it needed to be. Because, Brock just ended the streak. So
Right.
I would love to see Gunther, go in there and, go toe-to-toe with Cena and, put a beat into him. I don't know if it would help him. I think it would be a cool spot for him, but I definitely can't wait to see what's next for this guy. He's definitely he's having an historic title reign right now, and I really am interested. Now, do we get a Gunther Royal Rumble win? Do we get a LA Knight Royal Rumble win? Heading into the winter, wrestling is going to be extremely exciting because it could go either way right now.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't know if we get a Gunther Rumble win. Maybe it's possible. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily something he needs at the moment. I think it's something that would be far more beneficial to a LA Knight.
Yeah.
But Gunther, I think To be honest with you, I'm not typically a fan of heels winning the Royal Rumble. I don't know why. It's just something that I've just never been huge on, unless it's like the right guy. But but Gunther, I see big things. First of all, I don't see anybody beating him anytime soon for the Intercontinental title, right? Like who's lined up for him? Nobody.
I have no idea. Yeah.
So
he's gonna hold that thing for a while.
Right, and I would say put it on him until either A, the right guy shows up, or B, you're absolutely ready to move him on up.
Yeah.
Until then, what's the point?
So I have a little tidbit for you. Later on in the show, when we, do hot tag trivia, the person that you're gonna have to figure out is a Royal Rumble winner. So I'll give you that hint now. You got to remember that for later on.
Okay.
So Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura.
This is like your favorite segment of the week.
This is my favorite segment because it made me get my gears turning, because I have the ability now to use my imagination to think and ponder, what did Shinsuke Nakamura whisper to Seth Rollins? And I have come up with a few ideas. Would you like to hear them?
He whispered sweet nothings.
I believe so, or something a little more along the lines of this. I have a list. So first on my list, he whispered into his ear, "That child is mine." Of course, talking about his child,
Lynch baby?
the Becky Lynch baby. I think Shinsuke Nakamura might have said to him, "The back door is unlocked," if you know what I mean. Maybe he said to him, "Where did you buy that T-shirt?" Because Seth Rollins does look pretty nice in lace. I have two more. Don't worry, you're not gonna have to endure much more of this. Can you lend me $20 for the car rental? And last but not least, Shinsuke Nakamura might have whispered to Seth Rollins, "Are you gonna watch All In?" That's my theory. Cliff Cage is gonna be front row, holding a "I used to be Edge" sign. Listen, I like these two guys very much. Shinsuke Nakamura never got the run that he deserved, because he was really hot at one point.
Yeah, they kind of pulled him off real quick over there.
This is gonna be the same thing, though. I fear. I don't really fear it. I don't know if Shinsuke needs it. He doesn't need it right now. Seth is doing just fine as champion. This is definitely gonna be another Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna be right there, and then.
Yeah, this is just like a placeholder for Seth to get from one program to the next. This is nothing. Yeah. I don't know what I don't see any, like, maybe like a Drew McIntyre or something if they turn him. But this is just to kind of hold him over and give him because the turnaround on the pay-per-view. I think the pay-per-view is in like 2 weeks. They need to get an opponent. They got a ready-made opponent. Here you go. There's something quick. It's going to be a really good match. As far as what he said to him, I don't know. Would he have understood what he said to him?
So there was a couple theories online. People were like trying to really make out what he said. And I think, a lot of people came to the conclusion that he said something along the lines of, "I'm going to take that away from you." Or, that title is mine, or something like that. Regardless, it worked for the segment. I like, I like Shinsuke. He's great. They both have great entrances. So the entrances are going to be very fun. It's probably going to be the best part of the whole match. The entrances.
And the match is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
they're together. I want to say one of the Survivor Series, they were like when they were doing like the champions versus champions thing, and I think Nakamura was Intercontinental and Seth was the United States, or vice versa. Yeah. But they had a match, and I thought it was pretty good. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do now, given the World Heavyweight Championship So I think the match is going to be great. Now I got a question for you. Now that
Yeah.
there is no bloodline stuff going on, does this match main event the show? And is it big enough to main event the show?
So I don't think it's big enough to main event the show. I don't
Neither do I.
think Shinsuke Nakamura has enough star power. He's
Not right now.
Listen,
He doesn't have momentum yet.
he's great. I love him. Great entrance, very good in the ring. A lot of innovative stuff that we haven't seen. But he just I don't know. I don't know. He is just lacking something to get him over that hump. He doesn't have the star power of a Cody Rhodes, of a Roman Reigns, of Drew McIntyre. I don't see him as I don't even see him as a threat unless
No.
they do a complete curveball and they stick somebody with him, which I don't even know who they could bring in.
Who would you do? What would you do?
Let's just for instance, let's fantasy book here for a second.
Okay.
The match is closing. They're on the go home. A hooded guy slides in the ring, super kicks Seth Rollins. Shinsuke Nakamura goes over, guys at the entrance ramp, takes his hood off. It's Will Ospreay. I would be 100% fine with that. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's not what is going to happen. Is Shelton Benjamin going to cost Seth Rollins the match? No. So I think
Hey,
it's
I love
just
Shelton Benjamin. I would
I
love
do
for
too.
Shelton Benjamin to get a world title match.
I would love him too. I would love it too. But I don't see. I just think it's a placeholder.
Nah,
It's a placeholder to get him through this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do to him. They're going to feed him opponents that he wants to work with or he likes to work with. So he has really good matches as champion. I really would like for him to get into a program though soon.
Yeah.
Because right now I just feel like it's just empty. Empty stuff. Maybe they're waiting for the
need a
Fiend to come
program.
back. Maybe they're
I
waiting
hope
for
not.
Bray Wyatt to
You
come back.
need a
But Bray Wyatt's on
program.
SmackDown anyway, so
Right. But you need a program for this belt. It's new. You're trying to establish it as like this
yeah.
worthy championship. You need to have a program there. You
Yeah.
need to put that, and I'm not just talking about the Finn program, because unfortunately too, that kind of there's more layers to it also with the Judgment Day with Damian Priest and stuff. So it's like it wasn't focused as much on the championship. That
Yeah.
thing is so new. You need a big time program. You need for Seth Rollins to feel, like you said, like there needs to be a real threat to the belt.
Yeah.
And right now, I just don't see it. You want to build that thing up so it could main event night one of WrestleMania, or whatever you might want to do. And right now, it's just not there. I don't even know if it can main event Payback without the bloodline on it. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know who do you feed them? I think a Drew McIntyre heel turn would be really good for that. And I would even put the belt on McIntyre and let Seth chase. But
Unless we get a heel Orton. Unless Orton returns and we get a heel Orton.
very possible. But again, it's like been there, done that. It's like a whole
Yeah.
And I love Randy. He's one of my favorite guys. But like, it's like one of those things where it's like you put him into the main event scene, and yeah, it'll be fine, but it doesn't scream main event to me.
That's
and I could
if
be wrong.
like
Maybe they bring him back and they go nuts with him and put him really. That's possible too.
yeah.
But I think what this title is lacking is a big time program where it could main. I want to see this belt main event a show above like the Roman Reigns title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, there's just nothing interesting enough there for that to happen at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
can't wait to see how this unfolds. So I want to get into AEW now. I want to switch gears. But the way I want to do this, I want to do this a little bit of like a rapid fire, right? Because there's a lot to talk about here. And so there's some new matches set up for All In.
Okay.
And I'll put an infographic up and we'll chat about it. So the first one is obviously a big one, and it's these two guys, Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. This match has banger written all over it. I absolutely love Chris Jericho. I love Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay has shown a lot of character. Maybe he has in the past, and I haven't just noticed it, but he's shown a lot of character to me. recently, and I'm excited for this. What are your thoughts on this match?
I am somewhat excited. I'm a huge Osprey guy. And same thing as you. When I first laid eyes on him, however long it was, whenever he was doing the stuff at Ricochet, it's got to be 6, 7 years ago now. I wasn't convinced. It seemed like it was just a lot of like the acrobatic stuff, which I do like, but it's just not my main cup of tea, so to speak. But also, I didn't really know a lot about him other than that. And then over the last few years, I've gotten to pay attention a little more to what he was doing. And this guy screams main event to me. He's got, like you see, he's got personality. He's got some size to him now, and he's still got just an uber amount of athletic ability that he's honed in. I think that's the biggest thing what he's done over the last few years is he's not just doing the crazy flips and all the acrobatic stuff that he's capable of doing. He still does, but he does it in spots now. He does it in the right places. He doesn't just go willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Willy-nilly, Will Ospreay. But no.
Yeah. You're just coming up with great names tonight.
I know. But he's become, to me, a professional wrestler. He it's like he gets it. And like I said, I think he's got a ton of charisma. And I think this match, and listen, I like Chris Jericho a lot. He's one of my favorites. But I'm not looking forward to this match necessarily for him, even though he's a babyface again. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to go. But I will reserve most of what I'm going to say for, I guess we're going to probably do an all-in prediction pre-show kind of thing that, next Sunday morning. So,
well, we're actually on schedule to do our first live event, right? So I think, we'll figure out the logistics of it, but I think we're going to do a pre-show, and it's going to be a live prediction show an hour before the event. So if you don't want to watch the pre-show, come watch us live, and you guys can interact with us and ask questions, and we will answer them live, and you can give your predictions along with our predictions. I'm excited for this match. I love Jericho. I love Ospreay. He's showing a lot of character, and I'm actually really excited for him to get in there with a grizzled vet that I think he can even learn more from, right? So the learning curve never ends in wrestling. There's always something new you could learn, and I think this is going to be a great thing for him, and I'm very excited for him, especially, in such a large venue as All In. So our next match that was recently added, the Stadium Stampede.
What the fuck is this?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
I mean, I'm familiar with Stadium Stampede, but my God.
So you have the Blackpool Combat Club and Mystery Partners versus the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, who I absolutely love, and the Lucha Bros, who I absolutely love. So listen, Eddie Kingston and his squad, the Lucha Bros, the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy. We have met personally. Well, I have met personally almost everybody on that team, except for Phoenix and his partner.
Yeah, I remember one time me and you hung out in the back of the Ludus locker room with Eddie Kingston one night. That was a good time.
Yeah. Listen, he's a fantastic guy. I've never had a bad experience meeting the guy. Very, Chuck Taylor, same thing. So I like this idea. I like the guys involved in the match. I don't know who their partners are going to be, though. Do you have any idea of who they would bring in for them?
I have a feeling at least two of them might be LAX and Homicide. How about that? LAX and Homicide. That's going to be my guess.
To go
LAX
against them.
And Homicide. Yes, that's going to be my prediction. And then it's going to lead to a blood feud between Kingston and Moxley's going to put over his boy at some point. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay, listen, that's not a bad theory.
Think about it like this, right? The Blackpool Combat Club, right, have been just doing some heinous stuff. Absolutely despicable stuff lately. They beat up the Best Friends in front of Trent's mama, and they destroyed her car. It was, they were doing some reprehensible things. What's more reprehensible than getting Eddie Kingston's mentor, his best friend, his brother, Homicide, to go against him. Oof,
Yeah.
screams tremendous.
Yeah, that would be that's actually really, I didn't even think of that. That's actually really good. I don't think it's going to be that complex.
You
I
could be
think
right. You could be 100% right about that. I could just be
yeah.
just going out over here, but
Yeah,
but
I think
who
it's
else
going to
could it
be a Dark Order maybe.
listen, if Dark Order teams with the Blackpool Combat Club,
The Guns, I don't know.
I think aren't the Guns doing something against Omega?
I think so, yeah.
But like that's what another. You gotta look at the roster right now. It's like what, who, like if they're gonna, listen. AEW is very. They've shown that they're not. They don't limit themselves to their own internal roster. They can get anybody. And this match is, while it's definitely gonna be fun, but the nature of Stadium Stampede is more of like it's fun. That's what it is. It's fun. And so if you're gonna add, like you said, all this the complex shit, it might not fit per se right now, but at the same time, I don't know who else you put in that spot. There's 3 empty spots. Also, I don't like heels having mystery partners. So this is weird to me. But regardless, hopefully, we find out a little more this Wednesday. Maybe we'll find out then who the partners are. But
Maybe it's going to be
want to see
Christian Cage, Cliff Cage, and Beth Cage.
Oh, fuck that! That's a squash right there. That's a squash match.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to wait and see who their mystery partner is gonna be. I agree with you though. I don't like heels having mystery partners. I think it's silly.
Oh
but
my god, the worst
CM
GTS
Punk.
in the history of GTSs.
Yeah, and Gold Vampire.
Yeah.
You literally can't make this shit up. So apparently, these two are gonna have a match. He accepts his challenge. It's going to be a good match. I don't know if I'm uberly excited for it because this is their 50th time wrestling each other. But
I'm excited for
think,
it just because of the nostalgia factor involved in it.
Yeah, I think that's why it's on the card. I think exactly that's why it's on the card because they know they're going to get eyes on it because it's Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, 2 Ring of Honor legends who put on legendary matches in Ring of Honor are going at it again on a much bigger stage this time. So
I just think Punk needs to stay away from the GTS on Joe. I don't think that should ever happen again. That was horrific.
Yeah. Maybe he uses the Anaconda device or something.
He's got to do something else.
You're going to be excited about this next segment here. These two guys.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. I was so excited to talk to you about this because this was comedy gold. It was brilliant. I loved every minute of it. I hate that they're probably going to end it at All In.
Yeah. But that's the best time to do it.
It is exactly the best time to do it. But listen, you're over when you can get anything over. And MJF got a kangaroo kick over. And
hold on, even before that, they got a double clothesline finish over.
Yeah.
And they
double
did it to
clothesline
the crocodile guy. That was tremendous.
Yeah. I'm really sad that they're probably gonna end this.
I know.
So,
you know what's crazy too is they had like that really entertaining segment, the two of them, like that really entertaining, like the thing where they were in the gym and stuff like that was really fun. And then for a couple weeks, it kind of like was like maybe not as funny. And then this was just tremendous.
Yeah, let's
phenomenal.
I actually want to play a clip for you and for our audience, because somebody on TikTok, his name is Keep It Kayfabe, so please go follow Keep It Kayfabe on TikTok for pointing this out. He posted a video of Adam Cole, and I want to show it to you. Is this have we been getting subliminal messages from Adam Cole as of late, and is a heel turn definitely in the works?
Watch Cole's hand. Where have
we seen this before?
If it is linked, I love little things like that. Like that, little things like that. To put that much detail into a wrestling story, you're a genius. And I don't know. I think their match at All In is going to go down in history, and they deserve every minute of it. MJF has put in a lot of work over the last couple of years. Adam Cole has put in a lot of work over the last decade plus. I think they deserve it, and I'm actually extremely excited about this match.
I think it's going to be great, and I hope that, I think it would be really a change of pace for Adam Cole to come out as the champion and as a heel, and then have MJF chase to get his belt back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic match, and
But I
can't wait
think
to
also
see it.
I think what me, you, everybody, I think what we all like losing sight on is they have another pay-per-view the following week. Like, so it's like, what do you do that and then you go right to the rematch? You know what I mean? It's going to be, I don't know what they're going to do, but you know what? Let's focus.
Who's booking this shit?
One thing at a time. Let's get through next Sunday. And, I think that's what I thought this, once they started to get a little chemistry as a team and like be friendly, I kind of had a feeling that this is where they were going to go, just because it's like more of a, how many times are we going to do the MJF friends with somebody, he turns on them kind of thing? You know what I mean? There's only so many you can do that. And I think this would be a perfect time. And listen, Adam Cole has every, they always say, the heel needs to feel like he's absolutely justified. And he has all he has to say is look at every partner MJF has ever had. Of course, he was going to do it to me. I did it to him first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And listen, it's going to be a great angle. Once, if he turns on him, they're best friends, and people love seeing them together, and they believe it. He's going to stab him in the back, and fans are going to cry in the audience. We know that. I just sad to see them go, but I'm also excited to see MJF chase as a babyface and see what he can do.
100%.
So yeah, I'm excited for the live prediction show. Again, it's going to be live, hopefully, and we'll have some fan interaction, and we'll make our predictions. But it's actually time now to get into the Wrestler of the Week. Yes. Okay, we are winding down, and the show is coming to a close. And every week, we scour the internet, we look for something that catches our eye, and once again, Sal has found something. So let's get into this clip right now, and then we will talk about it for a second.
Oh, he drops him. Whoa! My goodness! What?
We got it here in slow motion so that everybody can catch it.
Goodness! What a phenomenon!
Listen, that's a great move. Make sure you guys follow the Alternative AG on Instagram. The Alternative AG. Shout out to Anthony Green for just a phenomenal move. Phenomenal.
That was tremendous. I loved it. It's a good variation on a neck breaker.
Yeah. Be innovative. Be creative.
And he's just a swell human being.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We've definitely had some run-ins with him. When I hit him up under the Hot Tag Podcast social, just to let him know that we were featuring him on this week's episode. I don't think he knew who it was because I don't have any photos of us really on it. No, he probably doesn't give a shit. But we've definitely met him a bunch of times, and he's a great guy. So shout out to him, Anthony Green. Great move. Love the innovation. And Cue the curtains.
The best time of the show.
Welcome to Hot Tag Trivia. I'm your host, Billy, and my contestant today is the same contestant as always, Sal. Hi, Sal. How you doing today?
Howdy, Billy. William.
Okay.
Billiam. Ian Aldman. Hellfire.
Hellfire, dark
Remember Hellfire, Ian
fire.
Aldman?
I do. I remember that. And I remember PJ Stackpole telling me how stupid I was for not using the music from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney version. And he sang it for me, too. He was like, it has your name in the lyrics. Hellfire. I love PJ. He's a great guy. We got to get him on the show.
We definitely will. He's one of my
So-
favorite people in wrestling ever.
So we're going to do this a little differently this week. We're going to keep trying it out, and whatever works, we're going to stick with. So instead of asking you a whole bunch of wrestling questions, this week we're going to do Guess the Wrestler.
Okay.
So I've kind of worked hard on this. I don't think you're going to get it. I'm going to try to stump you because you're just a wrestling genius, and I hate it. Because
I don't know about Julius.
Well, you're good. You're good. You know a lot of stuff. You know a lot more than I know. So I'm going to try to stump you. And we'll see how it goes. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. And I'm going to rattle off a bunch of accolades that this person has done in his career. And certain things, I'm going to rattle off certain things, hints, clues, if you will. And if you get it within the 60 seconds, I will send you
Tums. I need Tums.
fruity flavored Tums directly to your house via DoorDash right now. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get 60 seconds on the clock. And here we go. He was a two-time WWF champion, a two-time WWF Tag Team champion. He won the Royal Rumble in the number 27 spot in 1993. He debuted... You got it. The answer was Yokozuna.
You got the little thing on there.
I did it all for you, Sal. I did it all for you and the people.
I'll tell you where you messed up.
Where did I mess up?
You gave me the year of the Royal Rumble.
See, but a lot of people might have not known that. I think you were gonna get it. I think you were gonna get it anyway because a couple of one of the other things was his ring alias was Coquina Maximus.
Oh, I would have got that in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, Sal. Thank you for playing Hot Tag Trivia. Again, if you guys have any questions or any wrestler that you want to try to stump Sal with, send them to me via email at chat@hottagpodcast@gmail.com. I love this music.
It's catchy.
Sal,
Billy.
I'm so sad now because the show is over.
I know. Episode 2 in the books.
Episode 2 in the books. And this show only went 90 minutes. No. This one is definitely... Listen, we definitely did better than last week. Last week we went 90 minutes. This week we're probably at an hour and 15.
All right,
Give
we're
or
getting
take.
better.
We're getting better. But I had a blast. Did you have a good time?
Always.
Yes, I love. Listen,
This
I
is,
love.
this is like the highlight of my weekend.
Yeah, me too. Oh, me too. Listen, my passion for wrestling, to share it with someone that I know and love, and to talk about it and to put it out there is just, you can't ask for a better thing. You can't ask for a better thing.
We're having fun, and we're going to keep having fun, and this is going to be. Hopefully, we can do this until we're old. And
Yeah.
older. Well, we are old now. But
Yes.
older.
Yeah, I listen. I'll have a colostomy bag and I'll still be doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 2 is in the history books. Make sure you guys scan that QR code. Follow us on all social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube. This video will be uploaded Monday evening. And we love you, and we can't wait to see you again. And until next time, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Peace out.
Keep it tight.